Okay, the mechanism is set. Oh, it's going to be like copping a cream pie in the face, but not. All right, mate, over to you. Do your thing. Oh, bloody. Jeez, monkey, how many friggin' bananas did you eat, you little bastard? Oh, shit. All right, you lot, listen up. Now, you have trained for this, you are ready for this, so let's do this. This mission will be a challenge. It'll be fraught with all sorts of untold dangers and smells. But I believe in you. You are the B team. The mission is called Operation BBB. No, monkey, you're not going on a big butts bonanza. It's Operation Bring Back Betty. Now, you've got the package, it's fully loaded and ready to go, so when you get there, place it at the front door, ring the bell, run around the back, and when the screaming starts, get in fast, get Betty, and get back out of there, and keep on going. Any questions? Very good, B team, that's what I like to hear. Let's go. All right, let's move out. Oh, if you happen to see that Batman while you're there, you know what to do. Good luck, B-Team. Bring Betty back. Now that is going to be one hell of a shit fight. Well, hey there, Slotcar adventurers, back again for part 3 of the big epic switcheroony. With the basic table in place, I've started bringing in some goodies just to see how it's looking, and as you can see, it's looking pretty good. Now, one of the huge mistakes I made with the previous layout is I never bothered putting in any kind of underlay. So with the track directly on the plywood and a big cavernous empty space underneath, the plywood would act like a big diaphragm, like a microphone or a speaker emulator. And the cars would be so noisy. If I was in there talking and I had the Ghost Cars program in the background, you could barely hear me, you know. So this time around I thought, okay, first thing I'm going to correct, number 1 on the list, underlay. And lots of thought has gone into what underlay will I use, and I came up with this weird and wacky idea to try none other than some gym mats, rubber gym mats. Now, over the weeks I floated this idea to others and I said, I'm thinking of using gym mats, and I've got to tell you, no one went, oh, that's a great idea. No, it was always like, oh, don't know about that, really. Or one was saying, oh, that's a bit of overkill. You don't need to put on, you know, that thick a rubber surface. And I'm like, yeah, maybe. Anyway, I checked out everybody's suggestions, all fantastic suggestions. Any one of them will work great. But I kept coming back to this idea of using rubber, these standard rubber gym mats. Now, here's my reasoning. 1, they are manufactured for the purpose of absorbing impact. So how many times have you damaged your car when it comes off the track and it crashes on your wooden surface? You bust wings and whatnot. This is designed to absorb impact. That says it all. And I'm assuming that it might be fantastic at also absorbing vibrational noise and noise, period. I'm hoping this will be a fantastic solution to what's been somewhat of a problem for me. So I've laid down a couple of gym mats. These have like a beveled edge. So I flipped them upside down so at the join they're butted up tightly together. You're not seeing that beveled edge joint. It's about 1 centimetre thick. It's not spongy, it's not springy, it's solid, it's firm. But if you apply enough pressure, it has some give. And as you can see, it kind of resembles, it looks like out here in Australia they use bitumen for the road surfacing. It looks just like that, and it even mimics the Carrera track surface, as you can see. These things are quite weighty, so whatever surface you're laying them upon, they tend to grip that surface. They don't want to shift, they don't bunch up, they stay flat. And placing the track on it, I instantly discovered that the track does not slide away. So think about this, if you've got a whole surface covered with these and you lay the track, you're not going to get those joins slowly coming apart, as I've experienced previously. The track, no matter how much racing you do, the track will stay there. It's not going anywhere. It requires quite a bit of effort to slide it one way or the other. So, but sitting on its own, it's anchored. It's quite good. So it's looking good. It looks like it could be a good idea, a wacky idea that turns out to be a great idea, but there's no way of knowing unless we do put together a quick test track. So I'm gonna get all my mats in place, cover the whole surface. I'm going to build a quick wacky test track to run the cars around, and let's see, is it quieter? Does it absorb the noise? Does it feel next level? Let's see how it works out, okay? Let's get cracking.
Now, before anybody asks, yes indeed, these were cleaned thoroughly. Washed, vacuumed, scrubbed, you name it. These are the mats that have been on the floor in the garage all this time. A year's worth of episodes, a year's worth of projects, a year's worth of Slotcar adventures. And now, what a fitting use for these mats. Right here in the brand new Hughes garage permanent slot car room. Let's just hope they actually do work. Yeah, that'd be embarrassing, wouldn't it? But you know, I think they're going to work out just fine. The question is, will I have enough? Or will we need to head back to the store? By my calculations, I think we've got just enough. In fact, there won't be much left over. These particular mats were purchased from Bunnings Warehouse here in Australia. They were about $22 each. They measure about 1 metre by 1 metre. I think the usual price is around $30, but they have specials on twice a year, so that's the perfect time to grab them then. With the mats more or less sorted, it's on to the wacky test track. And as you can see, there appears to be something extra wacky going on in the middle of this layout. I must admit I'm a little bit thrown working in this room. It's nowhere near as reverberant a space as the garage, and this carpet is very comfy underfoot. It absorbs noise. The rubber mats are absorbing noise. It's very different, and I mean that in a very good way.
Well, little test track coming together. Quick thrown together test track. Got a wacky high hump there. Yeah, when I had Scalextric all those years ago, we had the high hump right in the middle. That was remember the TV advert, the high hump? They actually flew the cars and they got airborne. Oh, what great days they were. Back when they pronounced it Scalextric, silent X. Look up the commercials. I don't hear any Scalextric. It's a woke thing, I think. Maybe. Anyway. There is the test track. I've done the high hump from hell. I wanted to take it all the way up to the ceiling, but I ran out of space. Can you believe? I just wanted to keep going. I wanted to recreate Brisbane's Gateway Bridge. You should try driving over that bloody thing. It's like that, straight up to a peak and then straight down. The bridge from hell. And then they built a second one. 2 bridges from hell, side by side. Yeah, people overseas see pictures of them and go, what the hell is that? Who in their right mind would drive over such a thing? Well, it's called Monday here in Brisbane. Everybody's on that bloody bridge. So this is a smaller version. It's the smaller version. the teeny weeny version. It'll do. But I've got my gym mats more or less happening. Now, you might be thinking, well, what happened here? You ran out. No, that's the one with the dog piss on it. So what did I do with it? Well, I threw lots of chlorine in the swimming pool and chucked the bugger in the pool. Let it soak for a couple of hours, as though it's been out all night drip drying. Yeah, yes, I really did that, yeah. You know, public pools, kiddies pissing in the pools, they put lots of chlorine in. I'm thinking rubber. Bloody thing floated on top anyway. I had to sort of nudge it with a stick. Get that weed, get rid of that piddle. Get it. I might have to resort to buying another one, we'll see. Anyway, at least there's no smell. There's no smell, but there's an unsightly shape on there. Right here on the corner, yeah. I'm going to keep putting this little test track together, and we're going to plug it in and see what the cars are like on this. Does it absorb the noise? Is it a silly idea? Might be a silly idea to use the ones you've had on the floor for an entire year. I vacuumed them, both sides. I've got to tell you, they're quite clean, quite usable. There's no weird smells. No weird smells. Which is good, because when these are brand new, there is a weird smell, a horrendous rubber smell, and it lasts for weeks before it disappears. So I've dodged a bullet there. Yeah, and I'm trying a different idea here with the pit lane entry. I've sort of, instead of it being here, I've brought it around before the final turn. I'd actually like to bring this around further, depending on what we do here. But for now, this is sort of an experiment. I was going to cut this out. So you've got this line. This is a 160 curve, of which I have many left over. And order a inner shoulder. Then I realised I don't think they have that radius shoulder, you know, in the event that people are cutting up their track. So I don't think I can do that. I can get ones for out here. Not that I'm keeping this track anyway, it's just a test, but I am going to try and do something better with my pit lane. Because I don't know about overseas. Here in Australia, we've got the famous Bathurst. And, you know, the pit lane entrance is before the final turn, not after. So I'm trying to get a bit more of that, dare I say, realism into the circuit design. But I could get some contact, you know, that kitchen contact vinyl with whatever surface, stick it over there, trim carefully on this side of the dotted line, just load it up with barriers along here, which I probably would anyway, and by the time it's all done, you wouldn't even know. I did have to nick a little bit of plastic out of the ends of those. See, there we are. Oh, yes. But I got it to fit. I think that looks pretty good as it is, but yeah, if you continued the curve around, it could probably be here and have a bigger curve into the pit lane. That might look cool. Again, depends on what we do. So I'm going to keep putting this together. I'm going to spend the rest of the day tearing my hair out because it doesn't bloody conform once I get to here. I'm going to go around there, down here, join it on. That'll do it. That'll be good enough for a test, but what's the bet the bastard doesn't conform? What's the word? Resolve. I bet it doesn't bloody resolve. This is reminding me why I settled on my layout and went, yep, that will do. No more of this stupid bloody nonsense. Anyway, wish me luck. Well, that was cool. I discovered I had a whole box full of 230 curves. There we are. Back in there. those? Like toothpicks or something. Strange. Oh, go back in the box, you. Get out of my sight. Alright, so more 230 curves. Yay! Ooh, that's a bit of stuff. Oh, well, what do you know? It resolves. Got it in one. I'm getting pretty good at this. How good is that? Got it in one. That's a miracle. Crappy layout, but it's a miracle. Okay, Slotcar adventurers, I've put together a quick test track. Didn't take too long at all, and it resolved in my first attempt, so that's something. I suppose it helps when you've got those extra little pieces of track to fill in the gaps, but yeah, anyway, this is going to be interesting, this high hump, the Brisbane Gateway Bridge. I've also mucked around with a different approach to my pit lane entrance, as I may have showed you a moment ago. Yeah, I'm going to see if it works. We'll see how it works. But basically we've got the big main straight again. The big hump is a different idea. I've put in my little crisscross tracks. I never use those. But they're okay. Similar sort of thing happening down here with the hairpin in the same spot as the other layout. But let's fire this up and see if these gym mats actually do the job. I hope. Is that a bit of dust? I hope they'll do. Alright, well, it powers up and doesn't go so that's a good sign. Why was that blinking? These are charging. This is talking. I wonder what it's saying. Blah 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 blah. But yeah, no, let's not even bunkerize with that. Let's see this. Will it work? Or would it be that? Maybe it's this one. Oh yeah, it's this one. Okay folks, let's do a lap and see if the noise is reduced, how the car performs, all those things. Here we go. Gym mats, do your thing. Oh, that is immediately noticeable as a massive improvement. The rumbling is gone, the sound is much more under control. I can talk over it, you can hear me. This is great. And I've got to tell you, the cars feel better on, well, the car is one car, isn't it? The car feels better on the track. It seems to be holding the track better. I don't know, it's just absolutely brilliant. I think that's a success. I think that's a thumbs up. Let's try this pit lane idea. Up and over the big... God, I'm liking this feature, the big hump. Maybe we need to do that. Oh, I missed the pit lane. Big hump. Whoa, that's fantastic. Got to shoot it from down here. Let's go around again. All right. Big hump. Oh, that's fantastic. That would look great. All right, let's try this. Yep, that works pretty good. It seemed to be very violent, didn't it? Maybe it needs to be further around. I know. It's good. It's good. I don't know if it's the definitive way to do it. I did like what Dave at Slot.it did with his, but I'm not that good. I can't. Yeah, I'll just destroy it. So let's get out of here. Change lanes. Big hump. Oh, I think the hero of the day is the big hump. Love a big hump. Everybody loves a good old hump every now and then. Oh. Oh, God. Anyway, the gym mats are working brilliantly. Not such a silly idea now, was it? That has solved my noise issue. The rumble's gone. The track See, as the car comes around those corners, I used to be able to see the track shift slightly when it was mounted on the timber, but now it's staying fast. It's not shifting. And the car isn't slotting as easy. Like even with those crisscrosses, give it a bit of speed. And you notice I've got no guardrail. No guardrail. So this underlay is contributing to that. It's an improvement all around. Absolute terrific improvement. So Slotcar Adventures, for those of you having a giggle about this idea, I'm having the last laugh. Ho, 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 ho. I'm going to go with this for now. It might turn out to be another little faux pas like the manila folders. There might be some unforeseen thing in the future. I don't know. But for now, it's working. It works great. I'm very happy with the result. Oh, Wildman's trying to... I don't know what he's up to. Probably wants the other pit girls as well. Oh dear. Anyway, folks, that's a success for this week. Next week, we're going to get cracking at doing the actual layout. And I'm having a few thoughts about that at the moment. We've got a blank canvas. We've got a brand new year of content ahead of us. Do we do the same layout? I've got all the track, got all the parts, rescued everything we need. We can easily do that as planned. But do you really want to stare at that same layout for another year? I don't know. I'll think about it and I'll let you know what I come up with next week on Hughes Garage Slotcar Adventures.